Wilson, Principal Tutor of the Cake Makery. On today's Ask Lou, I'm going to show you how to make this cute little penguin. For this little penguin, you'll need some basic tools: an ordinary kitchen knife, a food pen, this is a black pen, a pair of scissors, and a paintbrush and a little bit of Tylo glue. I'm using black sugar paste, orange and white. Take your black sugar paste and roll it into a ball. You can add a small amount of Tylo powder to ordinary sugar paste to create a slightly firmer paste for modelling, which may be easier if you're not so familiar with doing this sort of thing. For the purposes of this demonstration, I shall use a green board so that you can see my penguin. Create a skittle shape, a slightly narrowed head and bulbous body. Then take scissors to his wings and just literally snip one on each side to create those wing shapes for his flippers. Bring your fingers up underneath these to be able to soften them and thin them and lengthen them a little. You can round off his body as well so that we get rid of the fact that his sides have been cut with the scissors and it now looks smoother again. You can make his flippers as long as you like, depending on what you want him to be doing. Reshape him slightly just to make sure he's not lost his shape. And sit him there on your board. Now you want to take some white sugar paste and start off again by creating a ball and then flatten it out. This is going to fit his tummy. When you've got it about the right size for his tummy, lay it onto him and smooth the edges onto that black so that it's not sticking proud. Press it into his tummy. Now take two tiny small balls. The best way of doing this is actually to create one ball first of all and cut it in half so that you end up with two balls that are going to be the same sort of size for his eyes. Here I've obviously made it too big, so I've rolled that ball and I'm now going to cut that ball in half to make two eyes that are about the right size for my penguin. So roll a ball of each one and then make it slightly oval before sticking it onto his face. And again pressing them in to create his two eyes. Now we want to take our orange paste and we'll start with his feet. So roll a ball again to start off with. This creates the measure for two equal feet and cut it in half. Take one of them and roll it to a teardrop. Having made the teardrop, squash it flat and put it down on your board. I'll do the other one at the same time so that I can keep these equal. Make a teardrop shape, squash it flat. I can see obviously I've made two totally different shaped teardrops there, so I can make sure that the front of these feet look the same. That's the important bit, because I'm working on them together. And then bring my knife into the front to make his toe sections and just pull it in. I'm using the back of the knife, not the blade of the knife, just a little bit blunter to create that impression of his feet. When you've done that, use a little Tylo glue on a paintbrush onto the top of the feet and press your penguin on top. I want to put my feet right next to each other here so that he's got his snug little feet sitting underneath him. Settle him down on top of his feet. Slide a cutlet knife underneath just to make sure you lift it all off together. Make sure he's secure with his feet. Now you want to take another piece of the orange paste for his beak. You have to work this piece out the right size according to your penguin. So create a teardrop shape from a ball of paste again. This wants to be a fat teardrop, so squash it out, make it fat and slightly flattened, and then hold it up against him so that you can see whether that's going to be too big for him or not. That's far too big for my penguin. So I've chopped some of the back of the triangle off to create the right size, and then run the knife down the edge to create the two sections, the top and the bottom part of the beak. Put a little bit of glue onto the back and then just position it under his eyes and above his tummy. An extra little thing just those children will notice those little things. They have two little nostril-like marks on the tops of their beaks, so you can just add those on the top when you've got it in position. Now you can take a food pen again to make those very simple eyes and create a funny expression. Don't put his eyes staring straight forwards. Make it look like he's looking a bit sideways or something like that. Maybe he's getting up to a little bit of mischief. Perhaps he has a snowball under his arm. Create a little snowball for him. Use those flippers and give them some movement and give him something to play with. You can lift these up and move them around so that he can be getting up to all sorts of mischief. And there we can have a little character getting up to something on top of your Christmas cake.